Alright gamers, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. There he is, we got the big man ready to go. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly has his Super EZA. I think real quick, I was just in the process of making his build. And remember, there are the new equips for him. One of those equips in particular I did want to use. I do want to point out to you guys that the Broly equips have been added to the Natade Village shop right here. Looks like that's the only thing that's been added. So I just did want to just clear these out just at the start of this video. Because that level 3 bronze dodge I am going to be using. Based off of what I think from this guy, I do think it's going to be a full dodge primary and then additional secondary build for this guy. I'm sure most people are probably going to go, you know, like 30 additional for him and stuff like that. I mean, there at least is good reasoning for that with this character because he does want to obviously super attack in order to build up his passive, right? So at least an additional build actually makes sense on this guy. Let me actually just make his build and then we'll go over what I go with. Gamers, we're back again. All right, so this is what I went with, 25 dodge, and then the additional right there. I think to me, this guy seems like you want to go either dodge, maybe raw defense, or again, additional. I mean, keep in mind that you could give him, you know, the full additional build, but specifically in order for him to build up, which I think is the #1 priority, he does actually have to do super attacks. So, I mean, it's if we get the hidden potential system additional normal, that won't give value towards him getting the build up he has, which is his 30% attack and defense and 10% damage reduction with every super attack performed. However, let's say we get 4 rainbow orbs with this Broly, he is going to be doing guaranteed crits, which means maybe a hidden potential system additional normal could still do a lot of damage if it's going to be a guaranteed crit, right? So, like, there's a couple of things we could factor in with that. I'm going with this. This is also nice protection just in case maybe we're fighting the Goku and Frieza fight. He gets locked in slot 1 against 17, or maybe there's some AoE boss that comes out, you know, within the next couple of months or something like that. Something along those lines. I would imagine, like, kind of like the meta that we have is the way it's going to be until presumably the 10th anniversary. I think it's going to feel very stale for Global because they don't have the Bulma or Goku and Frieza fight. But once those drop, I mean, that's essentially like what the difficult events I think are going to look like. Maybe we'll get something for like New Year's. But like outside of that, like this is probably what we're going to be rocking with in terms of difficult fights up until like the anniversary. Right, usually the huge fights would be Tanabata, Worldwide. Again, like a couple of years ago, New Year's had some fights. Anniversary, those usually when things get crazy. Let's jump into an event and test this Broly out. I think I'm gonna take him into the new Supreme Magnificent Battle Gohan fight. It's not a great fight, as in it's not really very challenging, but it's at least, I mean, I think it'll be a good initial showcase fight. Let's just say that about that Gohan fight. The other thing, too, about the Gohan fight is it is an AoE, so we could show this Broly off as an AoE character. Like, there's multiple enemies, so let's do that. All right, guys, so we're here in an event. Again, one thing that's going to be really nice about this initial fight right here, in this here, is we could see Broly as an AoE character. I think I kind of want to let it go where we don't have the domain up right away, and then maybe we'll use the domain, you know, for his second turn. Remember, the domain essentially is going to function as a lot of support. Now, let me actually swap over, and I do want to show Broly's kit directly on screen. So, he has this start of turn buff, 2 key, 200% attack and defense. Then he has this right here. This is not actually a multiplicative buff, unfortunately. This is. So when he's going to start getting multiplicative buffs and he's going to start to be really good, it's after he does a lot of super attacks. Now, if we specifically are going to be against an enemy that we could AoE, something like in Super Battle Road or, you know, here in this fight right here, I believe it should work where it's going to count as a super attack for every single hit he hits against one of these 3. So, you know, we could very quickly be looking good to go. Now, Broly is also a Rainbow Orb Changer, which is really nice that they added one to kind of like the core of like this movie bosses and uncontrollable power kind of like lineup, which is good. I guess one thing that does suck is he's not going to be able to link up well with the leader of the team. I've found that the best way to run this kind of like core setup is on uncontrollable power. Because then you have 3 characters in, you know, very easily that could kind of just like go in slot 1. You'd have Cell Max, well, I guess technically 4 because you'd have both Int Brolys, and you'd have Tech Broly. Although I guess with the Tech Movie Boss team, it's the same thing. All right, anyway, let's we'll just leave it exactly like this. Let's just hit the. Now I'll leave Trunks alone. Let's hit Videl. I think Videl is weak. Let's just hit Videl. All right, so let's see what Broly has to offer us right here. In terms of links, remember, Broly is the very first Dokkan Fest that ever released. So he's only got 6 links. He doesn't even have 7. We have Hardened Grudge, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Saiyan Lineage, Berserker, and Fierce Battle. So he does have 5 links activated. If we actually had him next to base Broly, we would be able to get, you know, potentially all 6 links activated, depending upon what the turn is. Because remember, the base Broly, Carnival base Broly, he has, whatchamacallit, Hardened Grudge, which is the grudge against King Vegeta is what the link is called in Japanese, I believe. So, alright, so let's see Legendary, Super EZA Legendary Super Saiyan Broly coming up in a second. Hidden Potential System, Additional Normal. I've had really good luck with the Int Broly, though. 5 million right away. Yeah, it's pretty low. I mean, okay, so we see that. Wait, I did auto... Oh, wait, I auto-piloted the orbs. I probably didn't give him the rainbow orbs, did I? God damn it. I think I auto-piloted with the orbs. Whoops. Oops. I'm a silly boy. I think he still should have built up, though, you know, with that super attack on all 3 of them. And obviously, we could see Broly get to some pretty good damage because he does get 50% attack for 3 turns when he does his super attack, right? So, you know, if he'll be able to do a couple of super attacks, he'll be able to build up damage. He'll be able to build up his stats. So I think on that initial turn, he's not really going to look too good. But then afterwards, he is. Let's do... All right, I'm going to skip to Broly's next turn. I'm going to do one more turn with Legendary Super Saiyan Broly without the domain. And then we could start popping it and see what he looks like with the domain, right? I kind of want to get a couple of these different situations in here. All right, guys. So we're back on this next rotation. Again, let's get one more turn just in base. And then we'll do the, whatchamacallit for him next turn. We don't have to, yeah, we just hit that right there. Okay, so remember, with Broly, I think, again, what I do is, when it comes to, like, characters that are close for key and stuff like that, I usually, you guys will notice this, if, like, after I explain this and you watch, like, me play a lot of times, you'll see it. I try and conserve ki as much as possible when I can, but obviously, this is a character, I don't want to do that. I just autopiloted. That was a mistake right there. Broly here gets a 50% chance to crit and a guaranteed additional super for every 2 rainbow key spheres he gets. So right here, he has 100% crit, and he's going to get 2 guaranteed additional supers. So Broly on this turn right here is going to super attack 3 times at minimum. And then remember, his super attack effect, he gets 50% attack for 3 turns. So it's like, this is where he can really begin to build up damage. Now, on this team, I don't know how much of an option I really love of him, because this is a character that's going to work much more effectively if he's on rotation, if we're running him. Because he's going to need to do these super attacks to build up, right? But, I mean, a lot of times on this team, you know, we're going to be so overloaded with Legendary Super Saiyan Brolys anyway. All right, so this is a guaranteed additional super right here. And then he's going to have another guaranteed additional super. This is also another reason, too, why I think it's probably not necessary to give this guy, like, a 30 additional build. Because, you know, something like 15 additional or 20 additional should be good to get the hidden potential system. Okay, we didn't get it. We didn't get it right there. But you're not going to need as much because it has a chance to proc with every single attack he does. Now, he should be fully built up right here, since, you know, he is an AoE character attacking these bosses. this is going to be a good showcase fight. For whatever reason, this fight sucks in terms of difficulty. It's trash. But, like, for me, just to jump in on one of these initial runs to be able to go through what the characters do, I mean, it's like Goten's got 60 million HP, Trunks has 70 million HP, Vidal's got 50 million HP. Like, this stage actually has a lot of HP. Then Gohan has 100 million HP, then Gohan and Goten have 120 million HP, then the Family Kamehameha at the end has 130 million HP. So the stage overall has so much HP, we'll actually have time to be able to build up these characters. And then that Trunks and Goten fight, the bomb mechanic, oh, super attack, that was nice. The bomb mechanic is actually going to allow us to damage ourselves. I'm pretty excited about that. So a lot of times, like, it's like, okay, like, damn, I sure wish I could transform with, like, STR Vegito or something like that, right? If some character comes out with an ability like that, it'll be really easy over there, so that's going to be fire. Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. Let's go ahead and toss out Broly's domain. So this, of course, is going to give our boy, STR Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, this is going to go ahead and give him a nice little support buff, having this domain up right here, right? I mean, that's an important part of in Broly's kit, is being able to drop this domain and being able to essentially, you know, transform himself into, like, a support-type character right there. All right, so let's just go ahead and finish off this Trunks, and then we'll see what Legendary Super Saiyan Broly looks like next turn. So, again, on this next turn, Broly should be fully built up at this point. So we should have all of his, you know, like super attacks have been done. So he's going to have his full stats. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here for Broly. All right, now keep in mind that this Broly right here is from the first DBZ movie. So I am going to go ahead and take this opportunity to, I'm just going to play this. I mean, a Broly showcase, playing a Broly animation and a Broly showcase, I'm okay with this. Yet again, by the way, I do want to clarify and confirm and address that that Tech Carnival Broly is probably my favorite character of the celebration, I think. I absolutely love what they did with this guy. All right, so, okay. Super EZA Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, right? He is able to, you know, get his additionals and the crits and stuff like that, provided he gets rainbow orbs. Now, it should be pretty easy to consistently get him a lot of rainbow orbs, because this team is really not going to struggle for ki in a meaningful way. There's really only small... So, like, the first turn Carnival Broly transforms, he struggles for ki a little bit before he does attacks and builds up his ki that way, or gets his active skill and gets ki that way. Or, like, Bio Broly once his intro wears off, but that doesn't matter because Bio Broly hits like a feather anyway. That's not its purpose. So it doesn't really matter that much. So, it's like, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly needing rainbow orbs on this team that he creates is not a big deal. I think it should be fairly easy and consistent to be able to get, you know, 2 or 3 rainbow orbs pretty much every single time. Like, I mean, here we go. Boom. 4 rainbow orbs. I don't think we're going to struggle for that. I don't think so at all. Okay, so let's see. So he's at 737. That's him fully built up, right? So he's got 50% damage reduction right here. So keep in mind, he does get 150% attack and defense when attacking, which obviously is still going to trigger once he actually does attack. And remember, he's going to do 3 guaranteed supers right here. He's going to have his crits. So, all right, let's see what damage Broly can do. And I haven't actually mentioned his support yet either. So he gives super class allies 1 ki and 10% attack, and then extreme class allies 1 ki and 20% attack and defense per rainbow ki sphere obtained. So we get 4 rainbow ki spheres, and he's given 80% support. Isn't that wild? 22 million right here. This is a guaranteed crit. 22 million guaranteed crit. Here we go. One more. 24 million guaranteed crit. Keep in mind, he's given 80% support to the rotation. Okay, hold on. We're not done. We're not done. 25 million guaranteed crit. Keep in mind, he's given 80% support to the rotation. Okay, cool. One more. No, god damn it. Dude, I made the point that you don't have to go with your 30 additional, and we haven't gotten it either. We haven't gotten it like either of these turns. God damn it. Come on, Broly, you're choking, dude. Come on. All right, guys. We'll come to this next rotation right here. Is it time to take a little gamble and put him in slot 1, maybe? And obviously, we don't want to run him in slot 1. Oh, yeah, but this is a baby fight. Yeah, I mean, what is Gohan and Goten going to do? So, well, okay, their damage, I think they do about, like, 1.7 million damage right here, something like that. But they do have a defensive debuff that they apply as well. Maybe. Here, we could play this again. I mean, it's a legendary Super Saiyan Broly showcase, right? So...
どこへ行くんだ? お前と一緒に避難する準備だ。一人用のポットでか。
All right, yeah, let's go. Let's get a little bit of footage right here for Broly. So this turn we'll only be able to get 3 right there. We are gonna have Kid Buu here. I think we'll probably do another run. I'm just gonna jump right back in. Probably the same team in the same fight. But this time I'm gonna throw up the whatchamacallit right away. 21 million. Okay, that's no domain, but we do obviously have Kid Buu on rotation. And then he doesn't have guaranteed crits right here since we didn't get 4 rainbow orbs, but, like, damn, like, he's really good. I just, like, thinking about the fact that he's giving on these turns, like, you know, 60% support or 80% support, like, every single one of these turns is really crazy. So, he gets a 2-key 200% attack and defense, the 150% attack and defense when attacking. He gets a 30% attack and defense up to 150%, and 10% damage reduction up to 50% with every super attack he does. He creates rainbow key spheres if there's a planetary destruction or pure Saiyan ally in the turn. That's barely even a condition, really. Then he gives the super class allies 1 key 10% attack, the extreme class allies 1 key 20% attack and defense per rainbow key sphere obtained. And then 50% chance to crit and additional super every 2 rainbow key spheres. I do feel like with a lot of these super EZAs, like, I feel like they've done just an exceptional job. Like, they understood the assignment with this guy. He's a rainbow orb changing support character with a defensive mechanic, but he also, I mean, he does a lot of damage. Is he the best EZA TY? Is he better than Trunks and Goten? I don't know. I am probably not that good. I think he might be number 2, though. I like him. I'm gonna, just for shits and giggles at this point, let's just toss AJL Broly's domain. We'll come back for Broly's next rotation. I think it's possible we kill Gohan by transforming HL Broly right here, but we'll see. We'll come back for Super EZA Broly's next turn. Alright, guys. We have another rotation we can go ahead and take a look at here. So we're going to want to try and get a lot of rainbow orbs, obviously, if we can, for Broly. We'll be able to get at least 2. There's 3. I mean, obviously, yeah, like, just look at how good his impact would just be. Like, this one where I said that they've nailed it with a lot of these Super EZAs. Now, I think Kid Buu's not quite as good as he was when he first came out. I mean, he's certainly a lot better on the Majin Power Team, where he's going to have all those Majin links up over on Uncontrollable Power Team. But, like, Physical Kid Buu is still a good character to use. Like, he works on this team for sure. You know, Goku Black has fallen off badly because he needs to get hit, unfortunately. And Super Bosses, they miss the mark a little bit with some of the characters. Like, Physical Rose, like, while I think he's a solid character, they did not make Physical Rose what he needed to be to make Super Bosses a competitive team, unfortunately. Right, Physical Rose cannot carry the team, and that's what you needed a character. Like, this guy will carry the fucking team, right, on his back. Physical Rose can't do that, obviously. Like, you can't sit in slot 1 and just say, yeah, you're not doing shit, Gohan, sorry. All right, let's see what Broly does. 22 million right there, okay. Again, after this turn, I think we'll just do another run, but we'll just open up with the domain right away. and then sort of see what Broly's going to be able to do. If we look at this damage he's doing, and like, I mean, he's rocking, 50% chance to crit, or, or 100% chance to crit, while doing, super, all these supers, and then having this amount of support, and I think he'll be relatively tanky. I mean, he could be killed in the same fashion that EZA Tech Broly could be killed. EZA Tech Broly could be killed if he's locked in slot 1 against 17, right? Same thing. But, like, outside of that, I mean, he looks good. This Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Him and the Trunks and Goten, to me, seem like far ahead of the rest of the EZA TURs. This guy, he's either the #1 or the #2 EZA TUR. I'm just not sure on that yet. You know what's funny is I think that this guy is going to work at, like, Goten and Trunks, when their unit super is up and their active is up, obviously, I mean, they're #1. Like, as far as EZA TUR, like, they're not being touched. But, like, this Broly is going to be much more consistent than they are, right? Like, they'll be up and down. Broly can be, I guess, based off of rainbow orbs, but it's not, like, Broly, Chi, and Lemo, oh my god, we died here, or we didn't get the orbs here. Why? Because they don't create orbs. Like, this guy, the orbs he needs, he creates. It's completely different, too, when we need, like, okay, Goku, Gohan, and Trunks, we've had many runs. They are great, and they make, weaker characters look super good, all that. But, like, we've had many runs where the key dries up, and we're in trouble, because they are a type orb changer. It could fail. It just, period. Rainbow orb changing can fail, too, but it's very, very rare in comparison. So, I mean, this guy is going to be getting that support very consistently, right? Yeah, he looks good. This guy looks real good to me. All right, gamers, we're here in another run. So we got the domain up ASAP, and look at all them delicious, tasty rainbow orbs right there. So let's just go ahead and hit that right there. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Remember, I mean, 4 rainbow orbs, it's possible to get 5 rainbows, but I mean, that's not, probably not on a team with 1 rainbow orb changer, right? Some of those teams I've ran against Bulma where we have, 4 rainbow orb changers. Yeah, we can get 5, but not with 1, right? All right, so this is what Broly looks like kind of right away. So he's at 322. I mean, that's not nothing right there, right? Like, we've seen worse. I'm just thinking of, like, a potential AoE or something like that. Although, I mean, Blue Gogeta's, post-super AoE obviously would be torture for Broly. But, well, I mean, Broly, the thing about Broly is, with every super attack he does, remember, he gets a 30% attack and defense and 10% damage reduction. The damage reduction is just going to be up at all times. It's like the GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, right? So, that fight is long as hell. So, I mean, you should be able to get your 5 supers towards the end. The one thing about this guy is you kind of do want to make him a priority. I would say that, this Broly. Like, we do want to make sure he is a priority character. Like, we got to get his super attacks up quick. The good thing about it, though, is that in Broly, the LR doesn't need any build-up. I mean, Tech Broly, to be exceptional, doesn't really need... I mean, he does need to attack, but it's not a big deal, I guess. Yeah, look how fast he jumped up in terms of his stats right there. Okay, still going. Perfect. Okay. Quite the jump just in 1 turn right there. Yeah, remember that 50% attack for 3 turns, man. He's got that. All right, he just tortured them. Jeez. All right, beautiful. Yeah, he looks good, man. I don't know. Best EZA TUR, second best EZA TUR. I mean, you could see it. Like, him and the Trunks and Goten, I just feel like they're just exploding right away with a different level of power than a lot of those other EZA TURs have, right? Like, Kefla can be, turned into paper mache pretty easily. Tech Gohan, like, if he's not going to get his stacks in, I mean, I guess to be fair, this Broly does need the super, but, like, just 2 rainbow orbs and it's a guaranteed additional super. It's not like he's, get 2 rainbow orbs and then you get a guaranteed additional, the 50% chance to be a super. It's a guaranteed additional super, dude. Right? It's guaranteed. Alrighty, we are back here. This is going to be pretty good. Oh, well, I guess Gohan does have a little bit... He's got a low amount of health, huh? Yeah, these bastards always have trouble hanging in there, don't they? I guess the other thing, too, is that we're not really looking super good right here in terms of our links and stuff like that. Next turn, yeah, next turn is when we're going to be what we're looking for. I'm going to just do this. So this is just going to be Fierce Battle right here. We're going to leave Kid Buu, and then next turn we'll be able to see some good stuff. So we'll get 3 Rainbow Orbs right here. Remember that Broly, ooh, 895, huh? Broly is going to be fine. I mean, even in slot 1, once his damage reduction's built up, if he has type advantage, which we've got right here. Obviously, we have type advantage against this Gohan. All right, Gohan. Oh! Yep, sorry. Yeah, my Broly could go slide in slot 1 a little bit more often, maybe. Maybe. All right, let's get that damage in. We'll finish Gohan off, and then I'll come back. Next rotation should be kind of our, like, really good rotation for this Broly. But yeah, this guy looks really, really damn good to me. Alright guys, we'll probably make this the last turn here. I feel like we've kind of like seen what we need to see from Broly. We'll be able to get ourselves the 4 Rainbow Orbs right there. Remember the massive amount of support he's going to give. I mean, I guess that's one thing. Okay, so like this rotation right here specifically, right, where we have the Tech Carnival Broly in slot 1, who, I mean, sometimes can struggle for ki a little bit on his first turn transformed. And then we have the, you know, the Super EZA Broly. But, I mean, every Rainbow Orb he gets is giving 1 ki to Carnival Broly. So that's going to be good. Okay, yeah, not bad. All right, let's see what we get from Legendary Super Saiyan Broski here. Okay, sure. Remember that on this rotation, he's giving out 80% support. He's going to be doing guaranteed crits. He's going to do at minimum 3 super attacks. Right? Like, he's got 50% damage reduction. He's pretty crazy. He's pretty good. The thing is, though, is that, like, they got to give us, you know, fights that can handle this. I mean, Goku and Frieza counts, for sure. And then, obviously, the Bulma fight is challenging. But, I mean, we're going to want more than that. One thing that makes, you know, the more modern years of Dokkan, like this year, better than previous years, is the overwhelming amount of content, right? Think of how much content we got during the 9th anniversary and stuff like that. Good content. Challenging fights. You know, like a lot of stuff like that. Like, we're going to need more of that. Like, they give us these really busted-ass characters. We're going to need somewhere to take these busted-ass characters into, right? Like, that's for sure, for sure. Alright, guys, there was Super EZA Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. This damn boy is a chef. That's what I'll tell y'all for free. This guy looks like he's going to be cooking. Looks like he's going to be chefing it up. I think that this guy seems to me to be quite good. So, this is Super Warrior of Destruction, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. His leader skills, STR type Ki 3 and 70% of stats. Passive is Rushing Rage. So remember, this is the only true part of his kit that does change with the Super EZA. Super EZA only changes a character's passive. It does go to show, though, that just that's enough as long as they give them enough abilities in there. So he gets 2 ki, 200% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then he gets another 150% attack and defense when attacking. Again, this is deceptive. It's because this is a very old character. His when attacking buff does not actually operate like that, to where it's not like a multiplicative buff with this, is the point, right? So he does get the 150% attack defense when attacking. This part will function as his multiplicative buff right here. He gets 30% attack and defense up to 150%, and then 10% damage reduction up to 50% with each super attack performed. So we'll be able to get up to that 50% damage reduction, which is obviously really good. So we're talking about a support type character with a defensive mechanic. Sounds good to me. Then he randomly changes keysters of a certain type to Rainbow when there is another Planetary Destruction or Pure Saiyan category ally attacking in the same turn. Again, that is barely even a condition for this guy. The teams we're going to be rocking him on are going to have these characters. At this point, here's his 200% leader characters. So Int Broly, Tech Broly, we do have AGL Broly as well. Harudagarn Planetary Destruction. We've got Frieza, we got Turles. At like these teams where we will probably be using this Broly, I mean, this condition is free. Like it barely even qualifies as a condition. And Rainbow Orb changing is something this team did not have, which is great for Broly to, you know, like these Broly teams to get this is nice. Then Broly gives Super Class Allies 1 key and 10% attack, and then Extreme Class Allies 1 key and 20% attack and defense per Rainbow Key Sphere obtained. Now, the thing about these teams is, I mean, if you're bringing Broly, Chai, and Lemo, maybe not so much. But besides, if you've brought them, the team is not struggling for key, and other characters on the team aren't needing, like, key orbs and stuff like that. Like, it's not really an issue. So, it's going to be pretty easy for this guy to create his own Rainbow Orbs, and thus be able to get his own Rainbow Orbs. By the way, I just realized, looking at this, I don't have a sticker on my... We're going to put the sticker on him right afterwards. Didn't even occur to me, yeah, because the very first Dokkan Fest, of course I don't have a sticker on this guy. But yeah, it's going to be very easy for him to create his own orbs and then get his own orbs to be able to get the support, right? So, it's going to be pretty consistent to get 3 or 4 Rainbow Key Spheres with him, which means he's going to be putting out 60 or 80% support every turn, which is just ludicrous on a character that could shoot out, you know, 3 or 4 20 million guaranteed crit supers with 50% damage reduction and huge support. He's a nuts character. And this is literally a 2015 character. This is the very first Dokkan Fest. Let's look at his original release date. This guy came out on October 29th of 2015. Look at this. This guy is very old to be this good. Then he gets a 50% chance to crit and a guaranteed additional super for every 2 Rainbow Key Spheres obtained. Again, not really too tough of a condition. If characters on the team were struggling for key, sure, but not really an issue on this team. His super attack is the Gigantic Meteor. He does supreme damage. It's an AoE. And then this is 50% attack for 3 turns, which we could see over on Dokkan Info right here. See, it's a 50% attack buff for 3 turns. That's another really nice thing Dokkan Info does. These 2 sites in conjunction are just awesome together. So yeah, supreme damage, AoE, 50%. Unfortunately, he's not an immense damage character, but again, this is the very first Dokkan Fest, right? I think, who is Gogeta? STR Gogeta is who introduced immense. I think it's different. For global, it was full power Frieza, but, you know, the original kind of like true order of the game, it was Gogeta who introduced immense into the game. Then his links are Hardened Grudge, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, the Saiyan Lineage, Berserker, and Fierce Battle. 12 key multiplier, 140%. A little low from normal Dokkan Fest, but again, I mean, this is old Dokkan. There were no rules, and shit was random. That's why this, when attacking buff, is actually sort of turn. Right? Like, that's why. So, of course, we got the 200% leaders we looked at. Here's his best linking partners right here. So, EZA Tech Broly, Carnival Broly. You know, the good news is that these characters are all new. We're at full power right now, so he's going to be looking pretty good there. Lastly, let's just go ahead and take a look at Broly's teams. Again, in terms of, like, conditions or restrictions or anything, just as long as we have a Planetary Destruction ally or Pure Saiyan ally, like, he could be run potentially on, like, any of these teams. So he is, of course, on Movie Bosses. Nice little buff to the Movie Boss team. We love that. Broly is also obviously on the Pure Saiyan category team. Another great buff to that team. Then Broly is on the Full Power category team. Even more buffs to that team. That team has gotten a lot this year. Hell yeah. Broly's also on Target Goku. Target Goku could probably be a very competitive team. A lot of these teams could with all these the Broly core characters, right? Then there's also the Exploding Rage category team that this Broly is on. Sure. This guy is also on Inhuman Deeds right here. Still waiting on that Inhuman Deeds leader. One day we will get it. One day. I have full faith. One day. Then Broly is down here on the Planetary Destruction category team. This is, you know, one of those 2 conditions to create his Rainbow Orbs, Planetary Destruction. Broly is also over here on the Legendary Existence category team. Sure. Perfect. Legendary existence. Then Broly is on Power Beyond Super Saiyan, where, again, he probably would work very effectively, considering, there would be a lot of pure Saiyans on this team. And then finally, Broly is on Uncontrollable Power. I mean, obviously, the main teams we would be running this guy on right now is kind of like movie bosses and Uncontrollable Power, but yeah, Super EZA Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. I just forgot to do this at the start. I mean, it didn't even occur to me that he didn't have a sticker, but there we go. Go ahead and give the boy a sticker. Yeah, this guy is crazy. I don't know. I think I might like this guy as the number 1 EZA TUR, I think. Is he? I don't know. I mean, it's like Trunks and Goten. Here's the thing with Trunks and Goten. Like, they're better on, like, of course, the turn with their active, they have 100% dodge, right? They have, their unit super up, their 2 turns supporting, right? Like, they're so crazy, but, I mean, running some of those Goten and Trunkses can lead to losing a little bit more, just because, like, the Int Goten is not bad. Tech Trunks is not bad, right? But what are they not? They're not slot 1 characters. And like, in some of these, like, the Goku and Frieza fight and the Bulma fight, like, that'll get you killed. So that's the only thing about that. I don't know. Let's go through the long video with this guy, but I'm liking this guy as either number 1 or number 2 EZA TUR. He seems goddamn good to me.